Hello, my lovelies. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to talk kind of quickly because I think my microphone is nearly dead and I really just want to say hi, say hello with decent audio. So, hello, my lovelies. Welcome to another reading vlog, aka another slow reader diaries. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the first official autumn slow reader diaries. I've been waiting for this moment. I've got my autumn Winnie the Pooh jumper on from New Chapters. I've got my new hair. You can't really see it right now, but there is something a little different with my hair as well. I will show you a little bit later, but I wanted to say hello, talk about what we're going to be doing in this vlog. First things first, I'm going to be giving you a reading update. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, them. And we will also be finally doing some autumn decorating. I have dragged out my autumn decorations from under my bed. I'm going to be changing my autumn bedding. I'm going to show you the new autumn candle that I bought, and we're just going to get snug. We're going to get cozy. We're just going to get into the autumnness. And I'm so ready. I'm so ready. The weather here in England has definitely been reflecting cozy autumn season. It literally hit September 1st and the weather was like, I hear you. I know what you want and I hear you. And we've just had like rain, but it's really weird. We haven't had consistent rain. Like right now, it's like cloudy but sunny, clear skies-ish. And then all of a sudden it'll be like torrential downpour. Like, it really doesn't quite understand what it's trying to do. Like it knows what it wants to do, but it's still it's struggling. It's kind of like I feel like I should still be like kind of summery, but everybody's saying it wants autumn. Like the weather is trying and I really appreciate it, but I'm feeling a little bit chaotic, I can't lie. Let's get into what I'm currently reading. So the first book I want to talk about really quickly is, I'm going to call this my like travel book. This is the book that I'm going to take with me to work. So when I am on the train, this is the book that I'll be reading. When I'm on my lunch breaks, this is the book that I'll be reading. I've done that pretty much with this whole series. That is Percy Jackson. I am now reading Percy Jackson and the Last Olympian. This book is already battered. So my whole collection of this series is just absolutely battered to shit. Like I accidentally spilled water on it, so the pages are all like damaged. It's already kind of the cover, it's not, it's falling apart on me already, and I'm only 20 pages in. So this is my travel book. This is my like easy breezy book, I guess you could say. The book where if I can't fully focus, it's not the end of the world. So this is the sixth book. One, two, three. No, the fifth book in the Percy Jackson series. We are following Percy Jackson as he's about to turn 16. And I can't say too much because this is the fifth book in the series, so I don't really want to spoil too much. Let's just say when he turns 16, it's a pretty pivotal plot point in this series. So a lot's going to happen. A lot has already happened. We literally jumped into the action with this book. I'm intrigued, I'm excited, I'm looking forward to kind of wrapping the series up. The second book that I'm reading, when I said I wanted this to be a cozy Hobbit girl season, I wasn't lying. And I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in my previous vlog, and I definitely mentioned it on Instagram, but I am doing the read along of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings with my bestie Ashley and the gang over on Discord. And we are starting with The Hobbit, obviously. I am on chapter 6, which is page 106. I really think tackling this the way I've been tackling it has definitely helped me. This is my third attempt at reading this book, and I do think my issue in the past was I was rushing it. I was rushing this book, and this is also my first time dividing reading a book by page numbers instead of chapters. Usually I like to read to an end of a chapter. It just feels better doing it that way. It feels much more like complete to kind of finish a reading session at the end of a chapter. I just remember when I was doing that before, it's not even like these are super long chapters, but I was just struggling. So instead, this time around with the read along, because we kind of have a somewhat timeline, I think we need to read 134 pages this week, I think, which I think gets us to like the halfway point of the book ish. And what I did was I divided that by 7, and basically I need to read around 20 pages a day to reach that goal by Sunday, essentially. Doing it like that has really, really helped me. Like, instead of being like, oh, I've got to get to the end of the chapter, breaking it down into 20 pages a day has honestly slayed. It's really, really helped me get through this book. And instead of just rushing through it because I want to get through it as quickly as possible, because I know I have 2 weeks to read this book, I'm able to slow down. I'm able to really read Tolkien's words. And like, there's a reason why these books are as beloved as they are. They are the reason why they are the pinnacle of fantasy. They are the backbone of fantasy. They laid the foundation. Tolkien laid the foundation of our epic fantasy genre. And even, like, to an extent, cozy fantasy. Like, the love Bilbo has for his little hobbit hole and for his food and for just wanting to be cozy. Like, this man knows how to be a cozy little hobbit because he is a cozy little hobbit, and that's all I want to be as well. I am loving this so much. I just read, I think it's chapter 5. Yeah, so I just read chapter 5. If you know, you know. I'm pretty sure, like, a lot of people at this point, if you haven't even read the books, you've probably read the movies, seen the movies. In chapter 5, I guess this is a spoiler alert just in case you have no idea about anything about the Hobbit and the plot or anything. This is a spoiler, but I just need to talk about it. I need to talk about it. We just met Gollum in chapter 5 in the scene when they're in the Goblin Mountain and Bilbo basically is separated from the dwarfs and Gandalf, and he's in Gollum's like little lake cave area. And we read the chapter where they do the riddle games. The creepiness that Tolkien explains Gollum with, while also making me feel for this creature, is insane. Like, I would be absolutely terrified out of my bones if I was like, and Bilbo was, rightfully so, absolutely mortified and terrified of being trapped in this space with Gollum. But Tolkien did such a beautiful job at also making me sympathize with Gollum. And again, Bilbo did the same thing. At the end, Bilbo is sympathizing for Gollum, even though it is so, like, Tolkien does not hold back. He makes it very, very clear that Gollum is not a nice creature. Gollum is a savage. Gollum is mean and horrible and eats anything that moves, basically. And yeah, at the end of it, I'm like, oh, oh. I am feeling for Gollum. One, because I know Gollum's backstory, and the fact that backstory that backstory is alluded to in this chapter as well. Gollum is my favorite character in this series. I've watched all the movies. I don't know if my opinion will change as I read the books, but in the movies, Gollum is my favorite character. At the moment, in this book, Gollum is my favorite character. I don't think we're even going to see him again. I think we only get that one chapter with Gollum in, but he is such a prevalent character. And if you didn't know, if you're still here and you're watching this despite not knowing anything about this book, this is also the chapter where Bilbo finds the ring. It's such a pivotal chapter. Chapter 5 in this book is so freaking pivotal to the whole series. Like, not just The Hobbit, the whole series. I could feel it. Like, as I was reading the chapter, I could feel that this was a pivotal chapter. This was an important chapter, and I felt it in every word. I've been putting on like Hobbit ambience as background music, and that's just been making it so much more immersive. I must say, I forgot that Thorin in the book is different to how he's portrayed in the films. Thorin in the films is a lot more like stoic and like grumpy and like grr, whereas in the book he has more of that goofy dwarfishness that the other dwarfs have. But he still also has the classic Thorin Oakenshield that we know and love if you've only seen the movies. I am just having a blast. And I'm so happy that I'm doing the read along with everybody else as well and seeing where everybody else is at and their thoughts and opinions. It's just so much fun. I'm pretty sure Ashley has like the Discord linked in her video where she's talking about the read along. So if you think it's something you'd be interested in, come join. It's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. Those are the books that I'm currently reading. Now, if you watched my previous video, which was my September TBR, you would have seen my September TBR and you would have seen that not only did I talk about The Hobbit in that video, I spoke about Percy Jackson. So I am currently tackling my September TBR. However, today is the 11th and a week has already gone by. What do you mean a week of September's already gone by? I don't understand. So I'm thinking of starting a third book. I know. I thought this was the slow reader diaries, Victoria. Like, what is going on? What is happening? This is still the slow reader diaries. Do not worry, do not stress. I am not going to put pressure on bashing out these books because I've kind of given these two books their own, I guess, category in my brain. So, like I said, Percy Jackson is my travel book, is my like easy breezy, it's okay if I don't focus too much on it book. The Hobbit is my read along book. It's my I need to read 20 pages every day. I know I'm going to be picking it up, but I don't have to sit and binge it book. I don't know. This is just how my brain is functioning right now. So because I have like two books that have kind of got their own purpose in their own category, I currently don't really feel like I just have a book, a book that I could just sit and read. And so I thought I could start a book that can fill that hole. And because I purposely chose smaller books in my September TBR to try and read more books this month, I'm thinking it's either going to be The Girl of Ink and Stars by Kieran Millwood Hargrave. Yeah. Or it's going to be Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. I am intrigued by both of these books. I definitely think The Girl of Ink and Stars is going to be easier to read, but I've just heard phenomenal things about Piranesi. And this is in a lot of people's autumn TBR, autumn recommendation videos as well. However, Where the Crawdad Sings is also on my September TBR. And I recently watched Ellen's autumn TBR recommended video, and she mentioned this book in that video. So honestly, I'm a little torn with what book to read. I don't think I'm going to do Where the Crawl. Oh, I don't know actually. At first, I thought I was going to do The Girl of Ink and Stars, but because I am reading two other fantasies, I think I'm going to go with one of these. And I think Piranesi is kind of a fantasy, but I also don't, it's not like a fantasy. I don't know. I really don't know. So when I figure out what book I want to read, I will let you know. Maybe I should do the whole like read the first sentence or read the first chapter, and whichever one speaks to me, that's the one I'll read. Maybe I'll do that actually. And we'll see which one speaks to me the most. But I have rambled on for nearly 16 minutes, and this was supposed to be the intro. So I'm gonna skedaddle for a little bit, and I do need to go to the shop and get dinner for me and Ben tonight as well. So the next time I see you, I will hopefully be doing some autumn decorating because I'm so excited to get my autumn bedding on my bed, to get my autumn leaves up, my autumn lights, all of the good autumn coziness. I've literally been waiting for these 2 days off from work all week to do this, and I'm so excited. I'm working myself into a bit of a hot flush, so I'm gonna go chill, and I will see you probably tomorrow. I'm actually so obsessed with this Winnie the Pooh jumper that I got from New Chapters. So even though it is literally a different day, I am wearing it again. And that's just something I think you're just gonna need to get used to. I will be regurgitating the same jumpers, sweatshirts, just over and over again. Yeah, that's just how it's gonna happen. I thought it'd be really nice to show you the autumn decor that I plan to start decorating with. I can't lie, I am putting off making my bed because Madam is still sleeping on it. It's like 1:30 now in the afternoon. I fully intended to have all this done by lunchtime, but I just hate disturbing her when she's asleep. So I am putting that off a lot. So I thought before having to disturb her and wake her up and upset her to make my bed, I would show you the bits and pieces that I have to decorate with. First thing I do want to show you is this candle that I got. I got it from Primark. I'm sorry. I know, but it's literally called pumpkin spice. The actual jar is stunning. And usually pumpkin spiced candles are way too sweet for me and I don't really like them. But this one kind of smells like apple strudel. Like it reminds me of the apple strudel hot chocolate that I talked about in a video last year. That's what it reminds me of. And again, the jar as well just sold me. This will be my autumn candle for the season and I'm very excited to burn it. There's that. And then we've got some bedding that will be going on my bed, which I have a matching cushion for. This is just an orange cushion with some gold pumpkins on, and I have white bedding with gold pumpkins on that match. This is my autumnal bedding. I've had this for like 3 years now, and this is the bedding that I put on my bed every autumn without fail. And then and then I've got a bag of autumnal decorative goodies. So the first thing, which I got last year, is this autumn leaf garland that I'm thinking I'm going to put around my hanging wall piece with my fairy lights. I think I'm going to put that around there. I think that would be really cute. And then to go on my bed, I've got a pumpkin cushion, which I just adore. I love it so much. So I've got that. I then have this really cute brown ceramic mushroom, super cute. I then have, this was a gift from my friend, but I have an autumn gonk. I now have a gonk for every season, which I'm just obsessed with, to be honest. I've got another cute decorative pumpkin, another cute decorative pumpkin. And then I've got this ghosty oil burner that needs a wash. Bless him. He needs a bit of TLC, but I've got him. And then I've got a classic jack-o'-lantern little guy. I've got some pumpkin wire lights. Wire lights? That's right, yeah, wired lights that I need to figure out where I'm going to put those. And then lastly, this is definitely more Halloween-y, but I've got this really cute wooden pumpkin stand. That lights up. But yeah, that's like the autumnal decor that I have. I'm so excited to start spreading the autumn cheer around my bedroom. I really need her to move. So yeah, I'm excited to get this out. It's going to look so cute and so cozy. I need to do a bit more tidying up first. It's time to start spreading the autumnal cheer. Hey guys, so I've just finished recording my autumn TBR, hence why I'm wearing the same thing. But I need to talk about this book really quick. I started this today, right? I am on page 125. I've read 125 pages of this book. I am pretty much halfway. Okay, when I say I need to talk about it, I don't want to spoil anything, and I'm not going to spoil anything. But all I need to say is if you haven't read this book, please get on it. I just I don't even know how to explain it without spoiling anything, but Susanna Clarke has constructed a magical mystery that she is so delicately unweaving right now. I am gooped and gagged. I am baffled and I am so intrigued to where this is going to go. And I genuinely have no idea where this book is taking me. I am so confused, but in the best way. I never thought I would say that, but I am so thoroughly enjoying this book, and her writing style is like it's simplistic but also so complex and unique. I've never read anything like this before. I feel like I'm having a little bit of a fever dream while reading this book, but I think that's the point. And our main character, Piranesi, I just want to wrap him up in a blanket and protect him and just love him and nurture him. I can see why so many people love this book. It's so good. It's currently not a 5-star. It's not giving me 5-star feels, but it's at least a 4-star. It's at least a 4-star for sure. Who knows what's going to happen in the second half of this book? Who knows what else is going to be revealed and unraveled? But I'm ready to find out and I'm excited. And yeah, this is a special book for sure. And I can't wait to keep reading. I can't believe how quickly I'm getting through this book. I did not expect to be getting through this book as quickly as I'm getting through it. It's kind of crazy actually. But yeah, I just needed to quickly just come in and just blurt that. I'm gonna keep reading. I don't know how much more I'm going to read today of this book because I still need to read my 20 pages of The Hobbit for the read along. Yeah, I still haven't done that yet. So at some point, I do need to switch over to The Hobbit, which is what I will be doing soon. These two books are slaying the autumn mood, I must say. And the playlist that I found to be listening alongside reading Piranesi slaps. It has got the energy and the atmosphere of this book so perfectly. So if you haven't read this book and you like listening to kind of themed playlists along reading a book, this is the playlist. This is the one. But okay, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to skedaddle and I will see you in the next clip. I must admit, sometimes I worry that I'm just sitting in the same spot and then it gets kind of boring, but this is where the best lighting is and the best background, not me just cuddling my pumpkin cushion. So I've got some reading updates for you. That is why I'm here to have a quick chit chat. I finished Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. 4.5 stars. I absolutely loved this book. I actually don't quite know how to explain this book without giving spoilers because I don't want to spoil anything at all. I totally agree with going into this book as blind as possible. I I guess the only thing I can really share plot wise is we follow our main character, Piranesi, who lives in this labyrinth esque world that's kind of divided into like upper, middle, and lower floors. And the upper floors have like clouds and things. The lower floors have got like tides and oceans and water. And then you've got the middle floors, which kind of, meets in the middle. And it's also filled with statues, like loads and loads of statues of just completely different things, peoples, animals, mythical creatures, the whole shebang. And there's like hundreds of different rooms and hallways. Like I said, it's a lab. And we basically follow our character Piranesi in this labyrinth. I don't want to say much more beyond that. I mean, what does it say on the back? Piranesi lives in the house, perhaps he always has. Then messages begin to appear, scratched out in chalk on the pavements. There is someone new in the house, but who are they and what do they want? Lost texts must be found, secrets must be uncovered. The world that Piranesi thought he knew is becoming strange and dangerous. The beauty of the house is immeasurable, its kindness infinite. Yeah, I don't really want to say much more past that. But there is so much more to this book and to this story that I'm so impressed with the length of it and how much is like how much Susanna Clarke has created in such a small book and how much complexity is in this book. I really loved Susanna Clarke's writing in this. It's kind of like journal entries from Piranesi, kind of. Like they're separated by like days. Again, I'm trying to not say too much without spoiling anything. I just think if you haven't read this, if you're looking for a reason to read it, please, please pick it up. It was so beautifully written. The world that was created was so complex and yet so simple. I know that's really contradictory, but I feel like this book in itself is quite a contradiction to itself. Piranesi isn't the only character, there are other characters, but again, the cast of characters is quite small. So you kind of learn and unravel the relationship of these characters through Piranesi. But also like Piranesi as a character, I love him so much. He's one of those characters like I just want to wrap him up in a blanket and protect him and just make sure no harm comes to him. He's just so pure. I grew so attached to him. It also feels like a very intimate book as well. It's just so good. I really recommend it. 4.5 stars. It's a book that will stick with you for sure. Okay, so the next reading updates I have for you is firstly, I am still doing my read along of The Hobbit. Technically, I should have finished this by now. I am halfway. I think a lot of the other people in the Discord have finished it. I haven't gotten there quite yet, but I don't want to rush it. I am really, really, really enjoying my time with The Hobbit. When I read it before, my two other times of trying to read this book, I got about halfway and I just felt like I was really forcing myself the previous reads. And this time, I'm just going at it at my own pace, at my own enjoyment. When I read this book, I really set the atmosphere for it. I get comfy, I make a cup of tea, I put my headphones on, I listen to like Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, ambient music. I really immerse myself and I just take in each and every word that Tolkien has written and I love it so much. I'm just having the best time. I love how Tolkien is writing this adventure that does have quite high stakes, but there is this wonderful coziness surrounding it, which Tolkien is famous for. I mean, hobbits are famous for. Bilbo just loves his home, he loves his hobbit hole, he loves his books, he loves his comforts, and throughout this journey, he misses it. He misses the comforts of his home, but he's also embracing the journey as well. Our cast of characters of dwarves and Gandalf. I love that wizard. I love that wizard so much. He is so unbothered by everything and everyone. And honestly, I think we could all learn to be a bit more like Gandalf. Like, he really is the master of his own helm, and I really just love that. I love that so much. And whenever Gandalf like leaves or separates from the party, they literally are all like, where's Gandalf? Where is he? When is he returning? Where is he? They are so they're so attached to this wizard. And honestly, I would be the same. I don't blame them in the slightest. I would be the same. Yeah. Like, I would not want this wizard to leave my side. I would feel so safe with him. I'm pretty much halfway, like smack bang in the middle. So it's probably take me another week to finish this book, but I am so fine with that because I'm just enjoying taking my time. I think that's how this book is intended, you know, take your time with it, enjoy the journey. I can see why Tolkien is like the father of fantasy, you know, he really knows how to paint a picture with words. I can picture every setting he describes. And I also really love this book is written as if Tolkien is telling you the story. Every now and then we get a first person line, and it is as if Tolkien is telling you the story of The Hobbit. This book isn't written from like Bilbo's point of view. It's Tolkien talking to us and recounting the story. And it feels like I'm just sat round a campfire being told a mystical story at night. Like, it's just so good. And I'm enjoying it. How many times am I going to say that I'm enjoying it? I'm thoroughly enjoying it. As you might have seen, I think I inserted the clip, but I picked my next read after I finished. After, gosh, words, I finished Piranesi, and that is Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I'm just going to have a quick sip of my biscuit brew tea because, of course, I have a biscuit brew tea. What do you take me for? So good. Biscuit brew tea with oat milk is so good. After finishing Piranesi, I picked up Where the Crawdads Sing. I am again about halfway. I'm on page 170, which is chapter 25. And I am so pleasantly surprised by this book. If you didn't know, Where the Crawdad Sings follows our main character, Kaya. I think it's pronounced Kaya. I can't remember if I was pronouncing it Kia before, but I think it's Kaya. And this is actually a dual timeline book, which I didn't realize, but it's set in the 1960s. And the first timeline we're following is Kaya, and we are following her as she grows up living in the marsh in, I want to say, North Carolina. And we're just following her story and how she adapts to living on the edge of society in the wild, essentially. We watch her develop relationships, we learn about her family, we learn a bit about kind of the social structure as well of the time. And then the other timeline that we're following is a few years later, I think like 19. So we start in like 1950s, like the early 50s for Kaya's timeline. And then the second timeline, I want to say it's 1965. And this timeline, presumed murder has taken place. And this isn't a spoiler because this is on the back. A presumed murder has taken place. And the other timeline is us following, at the moment, the sheriff and the deputy, following them trying to uncover this murder. And I'm assuming at some point our two timelines are going to join together. So yeah, I am really enjoying this book so far. I thought I was going to struggle with it a lot more than I actually am. I am reading it at a faster pace than I thought I would, which again has been such a pleasant surprise. I have really connected to Kaya as a character, and I've gotten quite protective of her. As I'm reading her go through certain situations, all I want to do is kind of be like a big sister and protect her and help her. But I can't, obviously. There's so many things like I wish I could tell her and give her advice on, because there's so many situations where she has to deal with things on her own. She's had to become a survivor and an independent woman from such a young age. and I just want to help her and protect her. And I've really just really grown attached to her as a character. And I'm just so like worried with where the story is going to go and what's going to happen to her, because I don't want anything bad happening to her. I just want her to thrive in her little marsh house, keep feeding the gulls every morning, listening to the crows and looking out for frogs in the marsh, and just live her best marsh girl life. But something's going to happen, and there is a, I guess it's a subplot, kind of a main plot, kind of a subplot of romance in this book as well. But it's so much more than that. We're also seeing Kaya just navigate interacting with people when she hasn't really interacted with anybody in her life. And when you bring like romance into it, like how does that manifest when you don't really know how to be around other people, how to socialize with other people? It's so interesting and fascinating. Delia Owens has done a beautiful job with description and like nature description. She so clearly loves nature and wildlife. That shines through her writing. And Delia Owens does have, I think, like a PhD in animal behavior, and she studied zoology at university. So that is her like area of expertise. And it's so evident in the way that she writes and describes the marsh and the North Carolina coast. Even though I've never been to the North Carolina coast, and I've never really been to a marshland, I can picture everything that is being described. Every little bug, every bird, every piece of grass, the waterways that she describes. I can just see it all in my head, and it's so vivid. And I really struggled with that recently, kind of letting my imagination see what the author is trying to create. But it's coming to me so easily with this book. I am loving it so much. So that is my current reading update. What I think I'm going to do, because I have the rest of the afternoon and evening to myself. So I think I'm going to get comfy, snuggly. When I read Where the Crawdads Sing, I put on this like nature music playlist, and I think that's really helped with my immersiveness as well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to read some more of Where the Crawdads Sing, I think, because I really enjoy reading The Hobbit just before bed. It's become kind of like my just before bed read. So I think I'm going to read some more of The Hobbit a little later on. But for now, I'm going to read some more of Where the Crawdads Sing, and I will update you, I guess, when I have something to update you with. Love me a biscuit brew. So it is a little bit later, and I've just been reading some more of Where the Crawdads Sing, and something I just wanted to comment on is one of the things I love about this book is how Delia Owens writes and I guess reminds us how interconnected we are with nature and how we are a part of nature. We are nature. And she does this with how Kaya interacts with other people, and how Kaya kind of relates her interactions with other people to what she's observed in the wild, and how animals interact with each other in the wild, and how that translates to how humans react with each other. And it's done so smoothly and so beautifully. There's just moments when I'm just like, I feel like everybody needs to read this book to understand that I think we've forgotten as a species that we are connected to nature. We're not separate from it. We are a part of it. And the main way it's being described in the book is through romantic interactions, and Kaya is kind of comparing like mating rituals of animals to kind of interactions she's having with characters in the book. And it's just a very beautiful, subtle reminder we're not that different from a lot of the animal kingdom. That's something that's kind of been happening throughout the book, that I just wanted to touch upon. But yeah, anyway, I'm really enjoying it. I'm gonna read some more. It's like 5:30 in the evening. I've just turned on my twinkly lights. I've put on my Forever Bookish comfy jumper, and I'm just gonna keep reading because I'm having a really good time. I'm really enjoying myself, so that's what I'm gonna keep doing. Hello, my lovelies. So I am semi-speed recording this because I do need to go to work in about half an hour. But as you saw, I finished Where the Crawdads Sing, and I obviously need to give you my final thoughts and opinions. Now, I did finish this about a week ago. It has been a little while since I last finished this book, and I honestly just needed time to process. I needed time to process this book. And I can't quite remember what I gave it on Goodreads and Fable, but honestly, how I'm feeling about this book is 5 stars. If I've rated it lower on Goodreads and Fable, I will need to change it because I have not been able to stop thinking about this book. This book has just sat with me in a way that a book hasn't sat with me in a very long time. I honestly have no notes. Like when I think and reflect back on this book, I have no notes on it. Like I do not have a bad thing to say about this book. I loved the writing style. Delia Owens' way of writing is so beautiful, and she knows just how to set a scene so wonderfully. Her nature writing is just phenomenal. The way she made me connect to Kaya and feel for her, and like I genuinely, like, you could tell me this is real. You could tell me Kaya is a real person and I would 100% believe you. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I don't know if anybody else has this, but the more I love a book, the less I have to say about it because I am just a little bit lost for words. The way that the plot eventually, like our two timelines, weave together and come together in the end was done beautifully. As you saw, I was gooped and gagged at the end of this book till the very last page. This book had me hooked until the last page. And like I said, it's taken me a week to process what I read. Like I loved this book so much. I loved every single character to an extent. The prose was beautiful. The plot and the story was intriguing and engaging. Like, granted, at first, I think I didn't really care much about the murder investigation because it wasn't really the driving force. I would definitely say the first 50% of this book is about Kaya and following her story and watching her grow up in the marshes and learn how to survive and also grow into womanhood. And then the second half, it's when it kind of picks up with the murder investigation and our two timelines kind of start to interlocked more. I was hooked. I was hooked. I just don't know what else to say. I need Delia Owens to write another book. This is currently her only fiction, published fiction. I need her to write more because I just think she is just a genius with her storytelling, her plots, her character development. Oh, just all of it. I loved it. And I actually can't believe I'm rating it 5 stars. I found a 5 stars. I can't remember the last time I rated a book 5 stars, but we've done it, guys. We've got ourselves another 5 stars, and I'm so happy. Oh, it was just beautiful. I loved it so much. And just I need her to write more. So I know that was such a quick kind of thoughts and opinions on the book, but I honestly I don't have anything else to say apart from the fact that I loved it. I loved it so much and I really, really recommend it. And to be fair, reading this book has really made me question, not question, but it's made me think about other books I should be picking up, i.e., experimenting a bit more with my genres. I was so intimidated by that book and it's ended up as a 5 star. So it's making me think I should really delve into more literary fiction and stop being so afraid of that genre. I do have some literary fictions on my TBR cart. I'm just intimidated by them, and I really shouldn't be. But I am going to wrap up the vlog here because I do think it's gone a little bit long. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey of the beginning of our cozy Hobbit Girl season. I plan to make the next reading vlog super cozy autumn Hobbit vibes. Like, we go book shopping. I've already read my first book of October, and today's October 3rd. I know. I know. So you've got that to look forward to as well. But that is it for today's reading vlog. I really hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below what you're currently reading and what you plan to read for the month of October, because as I record this and upload this, it's the start of October. So let me know in the comments below what you plan to read. I'd love to know. I really hope you enjoyed today's video and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!